Part 3 podcast.
Let's fucking go.
Stephen Malbon.
Oh my goodness.
Let's get right into it.
Put him down for the birdie, dog.
Just a bit outside.
Gang is back together.
Somebody give me your fucking putter. Hoard the putt in. I had to make it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the world famous Part 3 podcast. One of your hosts, Stephen Malbon. Got my man J.R. Smith and one of our favorite snowboard, golfer, father, entrepreneur, creative directors, and so on and so forth, Mr. Russell Winfield.
What's good? Thank you.
Good intro.
That's beautiful. Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you.
I don't know where that one came from, but it just flowed.
Yeah.
It flowed the right way. Russ, what's going on, man? How's the game?
Game is the game. You know, last time I played at Stephen's event, we missed you. It was actually good for me.
Yeah.
82 or something.
Okay.
Which works. But who knows, tomorrow. It's not snowboarding, right? It's like you shoot a 76 and then I could go shoot a 96.
Right.
That's probably why I love it so much.
I hear that.
Why you say it's not snowboarding? Snowboarding, what's the difference?
I mean, conditions dependent. If you go to like the park, every day, there's certain stuff. You're always gonna have your 360s, your 540s, your 7s. You're gonna have those, right? But with golf, you can play the same course and it's just, the swing it might go this way one day, that one day, hit it high. There's way too many variables, right? So it's just not as repeatable. For me, I'm working on it.
Tell us about it. me and both. We all chasing that.
Yeah.
So snowboarding, obviously, we probably met the first time in Breckenridge, super long time ago. You didn't even know. He was like the most famous pro snowboarder in Breckenridge. Would you say one of them?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then like the pro snowboarders in Breckenridge. This was in like 99, 2000. What was it?
Yeah, probably.
Ish.
Yeah.
But those dudes were like you when you played for the Knicks, when you had a key to the city and you could do whatever the fuck you want. You spoke about being on the Yankees or the Knicks or whatever, the way you were treated there. Him and those dudes, Todd Richards, him, who else was with you?
Like Roan Rogers, there was just a bunch of locals like Jay Isaacs, Toussaint, and Bree, a couple of the brothers that were just local dudes. We just had, it was a beautiful thing. I mean, you know, like when you're at the top of the mountain.
I love it.
It's great.
It's funny because like when I just came from snowboarding and obviously like that community isn't necessarily, it reminds me of golf a lot because it's like that community isn't so much as, opened up to blacks as much, and you don't really see us out there as much. And when you do, it's like, oh shit, like, bro. And then you see somebody who's like not falling down the mountain, it's like, oh, bro, you good, like, you nice. And then now, like, for real, for me to like meet somebody who's like your caliber of a snowboarder professional, I know like coming through that wave had to be different because it wasn't a lot of y'all.
There was none of us. I was it.
You were there.
I was it. But the funny thing is, it was so long ago that snowboarders were like black people on the mountain. Like, they just didn't like you off top, right? Because you were standing sideways, you had different clothes. So I found comfort in that. Like, that's the first time in my life I could be hanging out with a bunch of white people that were my homies, that like when we all pulled up, it was like a whole thing where we all were kind of ostracized and looked at funny. Now, if something went down, I was definitely the one getting in trouble out of the group, regardless of who did it. But,
right.
There was some slurs thrown and just the normal, it's whatever, really. I can't,
Right.
That's water to a duck, that's peanuts to an elephant kind of situation.
100%.
I'm here.
But to see it now and where it's transformed and to see, so many different African Americans, pro guys getting deals and sponsorships, that's got to be a great feeling for you coming from where you came from. You were the only one to seeing it now, and it's way more diverse, the sport.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of pros. I wouldn't say there's a whole lot.
Right.
But there's a bunch of people on the hill, which ultimately to me is more important, right? Because the pros, we don't really sustain the industry, financially. Right? It's the people who buy the stuff and who really love the sport. Like pro hoopers, y'all didn't sustain the industry. It's the kids that are trying to be pro hoopers or the older dudes that played ball and just want to go play ball or just want to buy the shoes or the shorts. So that's the community around it is the real important thing. Like we're definitely the apex predators, but we need everything around us in order for us, if there's no food, we can't eat.
Right, for sure.
So first of all, when you live in Breckenridge, it's an issue. There's tons and tons and tons of dudes there snowboarding, and there's not a lot of girls, right?
Yeah.
And so the few girls that there are, they're only gonna date the pro snowboarder dudes. That's it. So basically you have there's girls that are there that are either with their parents, with their husbands, with their boyfriends.
Tourists.
They're coming tourists, they're coming in and out constantly, but you have no chance in hell at speaking with them. And then all the local ones, cute chicks, I remember from Wisconsin in Breckenridge. There'd be a lot of girls from Wisconsin that would just come there and beautiful chicks that would be there and they'd snowboard, whatever, but they would only date the pro snowboarders. Am I right?
I mean,
pretty give or take. Yeah, so this dude, look, I would imagine for Russell when he was living in Breckenridge was similar. I lived in Atlanta and I used to work for Echo Unlimited and my job was to give gear to the rappers and shit, right? So I would go to clubs and go out with Gip from Goody Mob and Big and all them. And you go to a club and you could imagine I'm the only white person in there and there's 1,000 girls. It was something different. And I remember y'all, it was the same thing.
Yeah,
it was damn, this shit, they don't even have to do anything. Just play pool and stand around. And at the end of the night, you might have 2 full hands walking out.
This shit was dynamite.
I'm over here fighting, trying, hustling. I don't have a fucking chance.
On your grind.
Nothing. Bro. It didn't matter what I did. I could be nice, mean, any fucking thing. It was the same result. Going home empty-handed and grumpy and fucking, what am I doing here? Russell over here fucking at a buffet.
I mean, yeah.
That was Colorado living for you.
That was Colorado.
We used to live in this place. It was an apartment building. It was called, what's the real name?
The Edelweiss. Edelweiss.
Yeah. But it was known as the ghetto. And it had little apartments underground almost, and it was just this cheap apartment building right when you got into Breckenridge on the left, and that's where a ton of people used to live. So I dropped out of high school, moved out there, and I was living with these Virginia Beach, Mount Trashmore skate veteran dudes that were all out there, and so I'd stay with them, and I was super young, but Gilligan Yoder was living there. There was just it was when you first moved to Colorado, to Breckenridge, that was the cheapest place.
Yeah.
So they called it ghetto. Everyone partying in that fucking place. It was fun.
All the doors, they were sliding doors, and they were 1 or 2 room spots.
Yeah.
And they all had 4 or 5 dudes. When I lived there, I lived with the homie, his girlfriend, and their 2 pit bulls, and it was a studio.
Yeah.
It was just everybody.
Normal. Bunk beds, you'd be bunked up 4 dudes living in a 1 bedroom. Very normal, right? And all you do is snowboard every single day and get drunk every single night.
Yeah. I moved though to Vail. I would come back to
He got out of the fucking hood.
I pulled the Jeffersons. I moving on up.
Yeah,
I lived in the penthouse in Avon, right above the liquor store. We had the atrium and the hot tub. We were doing it.
So going from that to designing some of the most expensive, finest clothes and having a career in entrepreneurship now, what do you when you look back on it, what do you think about?
I mean, not to sound corny, but I feel blessed, bro.
100%.
I mean, truth be told, my parents, back to the Jeffersons, owned dry cleaning stores, right? So since I was born, I've been around clothes. I always loved fashion and dressing dope and style. And when I was in high school, I was snowboarding still a lot, and I was at a professional kids school in the city and would travel from there. But like, I didn't get a deal that year. My senior year, I didn't have a full pro deal yet. So I was like, I'm just gonna go to School of Visual Arts and start studying apparel design. Because that's, worst comes to worst, I'm gonna move to Paris and try to go to, one of the schools over there for apparel design. End of the first semester, I got the call. So.
Burton?
Mistral, which was a German brand.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then that played into Burton, which played into Ride, but.
I started snowboarding on a checker pig.
Oh, okay.
Same German, right?
Yeah, that's German.
Yeah.
You know what they used to call it? They used to call it the liquored pig.
Liquored pig.
The liquored pig.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I started on checkered pig on an alpine board.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I used to have to ride
Alpine board,
things.
the tip goes up, but the back is flat like a ski.
like an
So
old
you can't
school
ride
ski.
it fake, you can't ride it backwards.
It's like a Formula One car on snow.
Yeah, it's so fast
real
as shit.
uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Not fun.
No. But that's all there was at first,
Yeah.
give or take.
Yep.
So then Burton called. Jake is obviously, a legend and pioneer and from fashion and pioneering snowboarding.
Yep.
How was that being a part of Burton?
Burton was cool. I mean, I was at Stratton, so that's where Burton was out of before they moved to Burlington. So they knew about me and all them people. Like, they ended up with Ross Powers. Like, we had a little snowboard team before. They didn't used to let us go to Stratton Mountain School, right? Because it was just skiers only. They're like, yeah, no, snowboarders, whatever. So we all had to either not go to school or like go to a professional kids school. And then we had a Stratton Mountains Allegro snowboarding team, which ended up being like me, Ross Powers, Doug Burns, Trisha Burns, like all people who ended up doing real well. Jay Fusco. And so Burton knew about us. And after that one, I did the year on Mistral, came back for the US Open in the spring, and the team manager, Tim Pogue, who I ended up starting Ride with, was like, I remember I did a run the half pipe, I'm walking up, he's like, Russell, I want to talk to you. He's like, I want to put you on. I was like, all right, bet. He's like, we're going to Colorado next week to shoot the whole catalog and all the assets for the year, and we need you there. Put you on, you're good.
Money.
So I was like, let's go. And that was that.
And then you started Ride. How many years Burton before Ride started?
I don't even think it was a full year, bro.
Really?
Maybe.
They cherry picked you. What happened? That was just they were
So
on you?
Pogue was the team manager of Burton. And you know how it is, man. When you're with somebody that treats you good,
Yeah.
you're trying to stay with that person,
100%.
right? And I had my crew of dudes that I was snowboarding with. We were like changing the game. Like snowboarding was this way, and everybody wore this kind of clothes, and we were like, that's whack. Like, I'm good. We want to wear jeans and hoodies. You know what I'm saying? Like Carhartt coats, big coaches jackets, and cut our snowboards down and widen the stances. We just had a different real skateboard approach to it. And so we were at ASR, the trade show in San Diego, and somebody's like, yo, Tim's leaving Burton. And I was like, fuck, Tim ain't leaving Burton, bro. And I hit the corner, and he was right there, and he was standing next to the marketing director of Burton, his boss. And I was like, Pogue, bro, say it isn't so. Tell me you're not leaving. And he's like, Russell, it's so. And I was like, wow. I was like, all right. I looked at DJ, and I said, DJ, I quit. Pogue, I'm with you, bro.
Damn.
And that was it. And then I put on all the homies, and we started that whole new school snowboard movement.
So it was RIDE Snowboards. They were basically like, that was like early like jib bonk.
That was the
The original jib bonk. So what they do is they cut the tip and the toe off of the snowboard, and then they would take the little
T-bolts.
T-bolts, and they take the bindings would come here, and they widen that shit out and have it as wide as you could stand and wear the baggiest pants. Pants, I used to wear pants so fucking baggy it covered the whole boot.
Yeah.
At the bottom.
Yeah.
That's what you wanted, just your pant to go straight leg down to your board. You couldn't even see the bindings or the boots. No tip. You had to drill holes to build the bindings even wider, And jib bonk was what, like doing little
Just
nose taps?
Yeah, tapping, jibbing stuff like sliding rails or wood or
This shit had
bonking,
never happened before that.
It's just, and we did all this stuff, had a purpose. We weren't just doing it because we were crazy. Like the stances weren't wide enough. They were like 19-inch stances back then. Was the widest.
You were on
And we
26s.
wanted, some people, I was at 22.
22, yeah.
And I still am at 22. And then the noses and the tails were just big and you couldn't spin.
Clunky.
Yeah, and clunky. So we just, everything we did had purpose. We weren't just out there like trying to be crazy. We were like, nah, y'all don't really know what you're doing for what we want to do.
They would like set jumps up, do the jump, and there's a tree, do the jump fly like this, take the nose and bonk the fucking tree and then land back down or whatever. And so it was, they invented this shit, which was like the jib bonk fucking
now
craziness.
it's just commonplace,
and
right?
then you had like Dale Rayberg.
Rayberg, the homie.
Rayberg was sick.
Rayberg's sick. Nate, Cole, Roan Rogers is probably the best, but he was so undercover and hard. He was like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm chilling. Like, y'all, go ahead.
And you still now design for RIDE?
Yep.
You did a Virgil board with
I did
RIDE?
a Virgil board, RIP, V. I just did another. I found, when I left RIDE, I had a graphic that was about to come out in like 96. And I was back in the warehouse like 4 years ago. And they were like, what's all this stuff? And I found it, the original graphic. So that's the new one that's out. It's like from 95.
And it's still your pro model board?
Yep.
And so you've been doing pro model boards with RIDE for what, 20 years?
On and off, yeah. On and off for 30.
On and off for 30. And then how did Dub come into, do you know Dub? Mm-hmm. So explain what Dub was.
So
it was as relevant as all of that shit, but on the apparel side.
Yeah, so basically, we were all wearing, like we all moved to San Diego, right? That's how into skateboarding we were, right? And we were friends with like Ken Block and Damon Way and Danny and all them kids from Drawers. And back then it was 8 Ball. This is like before DC. And so Ken lived in Breckenridge with all of us.
Ken Block.
So he was
started
really into
DC.
snowboarding. So after, we were always wearing 8 Ball jackets and Drawers jeans. And after a couple years, they were like, man, do you want to start a outerwear brand with us? I was like, let's go, bro. So we kind of based it around like an urban, like me kind of, like an urban mountain kind of thing. And it hit. It was like Kareem Campbell.
Yeah.
Clyde
Who's a pro
Singleton.
skater. Kareem Campbell's a pro skater. Yeah.
Clyde Singleton was on there. We had
another pro skater. So it was black pro skaters and black pro snowboarders basically is the main.
Yeah.
And then he would be doing ads like doing handrails in like New York City. Where it would snow and doing like it was just what snowboarding was. First of all, skiers didn't want snowboarders, but then they started snowboarding and the first snowboarding stuff was like European.
It was just like tight, it was like ski racing, right?
Yeah.
So it was just like, that's not.
It was like racing. It was wearing tight ass one pieces, feet together like this. And then they switch that shit to like this and just turn it up. And even what he said, Drawers was like
a huge skate apparel brand. It was like Supreme before Supreme.
And they would wear pants. You would basically wear pants that were so fucking big that you would fold over the top. So it wasn't like tapered pants that were tight at the waist and go big like what people are wearing today. It was like, no, if you wear size 32, you're gonna buy 42s and fold that shit over and put on a belt.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that was it. And they were just these humongous jeans, cut the bottom.
Not as big as the Jankos, though.
But like, almost.
They were close.
Yeah.
But not that. Yeah. They weren't that big.
But it wasn't Janko. It wasn't like hip hop or that whole thing. It was like skateboarding.
Yeah.
So what happened? How did you start snowboarding? Out of all that fucking madness. Wait, first, but let me back it up. You obviously didn't snowboard while you were working in RIDE, Dub, all that. You didn't golf. San Diego got you into it?
Seattle. I grew up in a town right outside the city, New York, called RIDE. And they had the Westchester Classic. They had a PGA event. And so there was golf courses everywhere. So I didn't play, I'd go to the driving range. They really weren't, they were like, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I was like, it's kind of fun. They're like, nah. But I played hockey. My mama is from Durham, North Carolina. And she didn't want to have me in the South. She's like, I don't want my kid to grow up like this. So she moved to New York, and that's where I was raised. And so I played hockey, skateboarded. 5th grade, I was on scholarship for hockey at this private school. And so we were skateboard, right? And I went to buy a skateboard in the fall, and they had a Burton snowboard in the window. And it was like I saw Jesus, bro. I remember seeing this thing, and it was like one of the first ones with the edges on it. And I was like, whoa, that's him. I was like, that's it. And so I conned my parents into letting me buy one. And we would just go to, like, when it snowed, we'd go to the golf course. We had a golf course that had a sick big hill with a little 5-foot cliff. And then over to the side, there was like a powder run. And then a couple of holes down, there was an elevated tee box that went into a big ass pot bunker. So we built a little tombstone on the far side of the pot bunker, and would drop into the bunker and do big backside airs and come back in.
Wow.
It was crazy, bro.
Who would have known that?
And from there, it was on. I remember we had a school trip to Hunter
Mountain,
Mountain.
New York.
You know, when you're a kid, you don't really think much about consequence. So I'm doing big backside 360, like full like stickman ones, but they were still back threes in the mogul field. And the one kid was like, you need to do something with this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I don't know. And then I eventually quit hockey. I just got over it, you know, and just did that full time.
That's crazy.
So your first intro to golf was snowboarding on a golf course.
Pretty much.
And then what made you play golf?
Well,
And when did that happen?
97. I mean, when Tiger, obviously I was watching Tiger, right? Like, and I was living in Seattle, and we were playing, and it's just like, when you're a pro athlete at all, you have a lot of downtime, right? Where, especially a snowboarder, because we didn't train, but especially back then, we weren't going to no gym, bro. The bar was the gym.
Yeah.
Like,
That's one.
That's two. That's three, 4, 5, sit. You know what I'm saying? So we had a bunch of off time, and we just all started playing a lot of golf. And like, the funny thing about old school snowboarding is everybody pretended that they weren't competitive, right? But everybody was hella competitive. So we get out on the golf course, and it's on. And again, like the gear was whack. And so me and my one homie and one of the owners from RIDE decided we were going to start a golf brand.
Really?
We called it T58. It was technical 58, because back then nobody had ever shot a 58. And our golf gear was going to be like sick, but it was also going to have a technical aspect to it, because I believe, and I still believe this to this day, that apparel can help you, right? Like it doesn't, like, you know, you watch people playing golf and they're always like pulling their seams up.
Yeah.
Right? So why not do like a raglan?
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
no seam.
Yeah.
Right? And make it feel naked, but also make it baggier, right? And so we had all this stuff, we sampled it. The one dude, the business dude, he was just real greedy about what he wanted. He went out to get investors, and I saw like the numbers, and it was crazy. He was like, I'm gonna take 95%. These two are gonna split 5%. Whoever comes in is gonna take from their 5%. So ain't nobody gonna invest in that. We were
Pasadena.
we were all, also real early on that one. Like Tiger's gear was out, but Tiger's gear was kind of like real golfy still.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Do you hear he's starting a new?
Yeah, Sunday Red. Sunday
Yeah.
Red.
What do you think?
We'll see.
What do you think other than we'll see?
We'll see. I mean, I'm a huge Tiger fan, bro. Like, nobody is better than him at golf. Was better than him.
Yeah.
Ever. Jack, whatever, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Tiger is a monster. I just don't, I mean, we'll see what his brand does, because the Nike stuff, I think Nike did him a disservice. Personally, I'm a huge Nike fan. I just think that they could have done a lot more with the Tiger Woods line. And I don't know the inner workings of it, so I can't really say anything about that. But I mean, bro, he was so good. They could have made his stuff so sick,
100%.
right?
I agree 100%. It's no, for me, it's like, it's no different from him
the
and
other
Jordan.
stuff. It's
but
just a
Jordan,
logo.
like, it's like, granted, Tiger shoes, even when they re-drop them, they're still selling out.
Well, the 13 is sick, right?
I mean, they're gone.
Yeah.
So it's like his line and his legacy is already selling itself. People are already buying the Tiger brand, even if they don't even play golf.
yeah.
To me, I mean, to not make it even look cool or functional, then put 100 of the same players in there. You know, Steve and I talk about it, going to an event and you see five or six guys repping Nike, all wearing the same thing. And it's like, bro, y'all have way more
They need some help.
reach. Yeah.
They need some help. I just think, like, if you look at, like, even the fabric selection on Jordan stuff, it's like a little elevated from just the normal Nike stuff. The cut's just a little different, right? I just didn't find that in the Tiger stuff. It seemed like it was just very normal, right? Like, it was kind of like, yeah.
Very dry fit.
Yeah, we'll
off
get the
rack.
red for Sunday, put the TW logo on it, and we're good.
And they washed it out too. Like when he first was playing in like U.S. amateurs and shit, he had a little thin chain on. He would wear like that sawgrass big straw hat, oversized patterned, you know, oversized pleated khakis. So like he went from like what I would think is looks cool to just look like aerobic clothes. Right?
Yeah,
like fitness, dry fit, skin tight.
I mean, he wasn't skin tight because he had the big pleated pants.
Yeah.
But
maybe
after
that's
that.
just maybe that's just him though, right? Like I don't know Tiger.
Yeah.
I just know his golf game and it's next level,
100%.
right? Like I don't know Michael Jordan at all. I just know his basketball game. And his shoes to me represent his game. Right? Like, and I'm just general pop. Like, I'm public. So, like, I want his shoes to be sick.
Yes.
Like Kobe's shoes. Kobe's shoes represent his game.
100%.
They're sick. And the Tiger clothes just seemed very normal.
Very normal.
And but maybe that's what he wanted. Who knows? I'm not in those rooms, so I can't really speak on it. I can just speak on what I wish I could have seen through it.
I know that's right.
Which is selfish, but you asked. So I'm saying.
Who are you looking at on tour now? Who you think look anybody out there? Anyone that could be on the fashion side, just like let alone the game. A lot of them are really good at golf.
Yeah.
Right?
So honestly, like golf, the way I have to look at these tour guys is who's got the coolest classic style.
Yeah.
Because it's either like Keith Mitchell, Cashmere
Yeah.
Keith,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
my guy.
100%.
He's
The
all the
blazer,
way in for who he is,
visor.
right?
Yeah.
He is the consummate country club looking dude that's like the country club dude that's got some drip for
Right,
who
yeah.
he is. Like
100%.
and it's authentic drip to him.
Everything
Yes.
tailored.
Tailored, he's got the premieres on, you know, a different one every day.
Peter Millar looks.
You know, he got the Mizunos, like he's all the way in. I just want everybody to be true to their personality through their style.
He even walks with swag.
You
When
know,
see him
he's got
walking
a
down
little-
the fairway, his stride. He played with Jason last week on Saturday, so I walked with the two of them. But yeah, that motherfucker just looks cool walking.
Yeah.
Just
and
walking looks cool.
obviously Jason Days, I'm so happy that you guys got him. And I wanted to say something about that. So do you all remember when they started wearing the sweatpants with the cuffs on the bottom?
Yeah.
Bro, all the announcers were going crazy. Oh, sweatpants. So I don't believe that it's y'all as much that they're
Yeah.
so upset with. It's just change.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like it's not, I mean, and next thing you know, everybody's gonna have a bigger pant. Like that's just
It's
what's
happening.
gonna happen. So
And Jay's so cool too. Jay's just like, they're like, I saw Bryce Butler interviewed him and said, what do you think about, like, you know, obviously anything you're doing, there's going to be naysayers, this, that, and the other. He was like, he's like, I've been out here 17 years. He's like, I feel like I'm like the grumpy old guy on tour. Like, I honestly could care less what people think about me. You know, which is like, that's not a normal thing for a young person. But when you've been on tour 17 years, when you're in your first 5 years of tour, I mean, I'm
Care
sure
about
even you
everything.
with basketball, like the first couple of years, you're like, what does he think about me? Or you just have more insecurities. But after you're a veteran, you're like, fuck them, actually. I got 5 kids, a wife.
Yeah, you got your checks. You're
I
just
mean,
out there
what are
doing
we
your
talking
thing.
about? Like the announcer said, he said the other day, they said on Jason, they said, there's Jason Day again in his pants. I wonder how many of his kids could fit in those pants. It's like, God, dude,
I hope a few,
you're
'cause then
firing
you'd
on
be
the
good.
kid. It's like,
I hope a
golly.
few, because then maybe he'd get cheaper plane tickets. Just put your kids
Exactly.
in your pants. Save
Sneak
yourself a
them
couple
in.
dollars, right?
So what about some of these golf questions we like to ask? Favorite,
Okay, go ahead.
go ahead, you
What's
hit
your
it.
favorite club in the back?
What's the go-to?
Right now, the driver.
Yeah. Oh, most forgiving bag club in the bag.
You know. Right now, tomorrow it might start not working again.
Yeah.
Right? Who knows? But that seems to be the most consistent for me. Like it gets off, and it gets way off. But like the amount of time that it's on compared to the time that it's off is better. So
If you had to toss one of them out, which one? If you could live without one of those clubs, which one would it be?
oof. 4-iron?
Forward, you don't use it much,
No,
right?
I use it all the time. But if I
can't
got to
hit it.
toss, no, I can hit it. It's just like that's the one that I stand over and I'm like, oh, we'll see.
Yeah.
Or no, let me take that back. 3-wood.
3-wood, you don't use
Three-wood,
it.
I
You
don't
just
use
chip
it that
a driver or hit a hard 5-wood.
Yeah,
Well, you got 5-wood?
a rescue.
Rescue iron?
Yeah, like a 19-degree.
Every time I get ready to play golf, I gotta pick my outfit out. Like, what do you start with your pants, your shirt, hat, shoes? What do you go for?
That's an amazing question.
He's a
Jared.
dresser, too.
Yeah, I know.
He puts the looks together.
Pants.
Let's
I think
go.
I start with pants.
More fabric.
Yeah, and then from the pants to shirt, and then everything else kind of has to follow that, right? So like I'll be like tomorrow, I got these brown, lots of fabric, Supreme chino,
Yeah.
but they're like shiny kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
So I'm gonna wear the white Malbon polo with the stitched collar, not the stitched collar. And then I'm gonna wear the Bing Crosby sweater. Right.
Cardigan. Yeah.
No, not the cardigan. The sweater.
The crew neck.
The
With
crew.
the holy, that one. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna wear I'm gonna roll roll 3 times each pant leg. I got these they're white and black striped Stan socks with a little thingy on them. And then I got the Stan Smiths.
The ones we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black LV belt, a mellow LV though,
Yeah.
and this hat.
And there you have it.
I like that. That fit is crazy.
That's for
Bro,
tomorrow.
you gotta send us this picture because we putting this with the segment, bro. I gotta see the fit. That's fire.
I remember you showed up in Arizona at this time a year ago.
fit, yeah.
Was it? It was a year
Yeah,
ago.
it was exactly.
And then so I was going to explain the fit. I'll get the video so y'all can see it, but explain that fit.
I don't even remember what it was.
It's all red and white.
Oh, I had the red. Which
He
red
had red
pants?
to white, head to toe, with the red cardigan, the white collar.
Oh, that's right.
Remember all that?
No. It was your red Malbon M, that sweater, the Asia only one, I think,
Yeah.
with the white collar, the red Supreme pants, and the white Premiers. Woo, that was hot.
He walked up there. I looked at this motherfucker, looked like Payne Stewart walking up.
I felt like Payne
65 for sure.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, dog, the way you dress, it gives you a certain confidence. Like, shit, at least I feel good.
Yeah, I look good. I might
go out there and shoot 105, but if I feel good, it's a great day.
Yeah.
For real. That's how I am, for sure.
How about this one? What is your favorite? Would your dream foursome be dead or alive to play golf? That foursome.
I'm glad he said to play golf.
Yeah. That's a crazy question. Probably have to be, I gotta have Tiger. And this, like, just golfers? Like pro golfers? Are you saying?
No, just anyone
The
to golf
homies?
with. Tiger, you get 2
Me,
more.
Tiger.
Fuck it, make it 3 more. 5-some.
I'm going me, Tiger. I'm going Charlie Sifford.
Let's go.
I'm going Obama, bro.
Let's go.
That's it.
That's the foursome.
And I'm just basically going to be a fly on the wall because I want to hear, as you all know, like playing around the golf, like with those, you're going to hear some gems about
for
life,
sure.
right? And like, you're gonna hear plight, you're gonna hear about successes, you're gonna hear about being vigilant and staying on task. And that's what I'm all about. Like, them 3 men have gone through it. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be as selfishly, I'm trying to learn.
Who you gonna let caddy for you in that group?
You wanna be my caddy?
I'm in, baby. That's the fly on the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, that motherfucker just sponging. Be a sponge.
That's fucking hilarious.
People who are intimidated to play golf, what are your word? What do you tell them, or what would your advice be?
Go get lessons and go to the driving range until you can just hit it a little, like, until you know that you're gonna hit it straight. And then pitch and putt. Because I find like a lot of people get like panicked out and anxiety because like golf isn't one of them sports where you can just pull up whenever you want and just go and like get out there and take your time on every hole. There's always someone like, hey, hurry up. You know what I'm saying? Like if you fall behind, people are gonna start chirping. Yeah. So in order for that not to happen, you need to have like a certain level of competency, right? So I just think that just figure out how to hit the ball a little bit and then go to like the par threes, right? Take a couple lessons because like snowboarding, it's just easier. Like you alleviate so much heartache if you just have somebody be like, no, try this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's for sure. I tried to snowboard for the first time thinking I was just gonna get up and do it, bro. I couldn't even stand up.
It's weird.
Bruise your tailbone fucking around.
And you tall too. You got a long way to come down.
Oh man, that shit hurt, dog. For real.
Yeah, that's what I used to tell everybody would come out. Hey, you're decent at snowboard. You could teach me, right?
No,
like
sir.
hell no.
I didn't even teach my children.
No,
bro.
I'm just the last thing I want to do. Go in that class, figure it out, learn how to turn left, right, and stop.
And then we're
we
good.
can party.
Yeah.
That's
then
it.
I got
But you got to be able to go that way, and stop, or I'm not fucking with it. A long day watching that shit. Same difference with golf. Figure out how to hit it, chip it, and putt it.
And then we're good.
And we can move on. Then at that point, no one cares. No one cares how you play. They just care if you're
Moving fast enough.
if you're keeping up and having fun.
That's for sure.
That's right. So thank you for coming, my boy.
Thank you
Appreciate
for having
the
me.
best.
Appreciate
We
it.
gotta,
Absolutely.
we gotta watch that swing. We're gonna get some footage of you over here swinging too.
Okay.
And that is another episode of the Part 3 podcast. We'll see you when we see you.
Yeet.
Fucking money. Hit it at the target. All right, that's the one. That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
That's the hook. Okay, so ready? All right, aim at that bunker over there. See that bunker? That bunker. Get
The
it.
one on the far right?
Yeah, the one way over there on the right. Tell me when you're ready at the bunker.
You want me to square?
You're gonna hit it with a draw at the bunker. That looks
Okay.
right? Look at the bunker?
Yeah.
Okay, now turn and look at the blue flag. You were just hitting it out. Now
Yeah.
just hit it there, don't think. Just hit it to the blue flag. Tried to cut, didn't it? All right, do it again. And then you're gonna do the same thing. Lock in on that bunker.
That's a big.
This shit's wild right here. This is gonna work, right? Lock in on the bunker, normal as can be, everything straight. Okay, you at the bunker? Look at
Yeah.
the bunker. Now open your face just a little. There you go. Now look at the blue flag. Stare at it. Now hit it to it. And my boy hitting cuts. Still drew a foot, but so when you start hooking the ball, you probably start thinking, I gotta aim further left, further left, further left. In order to
I try
fix
to
it,
hold
you
it off.
gotta aim right.
Right.
And then do it one more time, and the only thing I'll tell you on this one is lock in at that same shit, lock in way over there. Okay, open the face a little, and look at the blue flag, and no matter what, the toe can't outrace the heel. There's your cut. High fucking 1 foot cut.
Look.
Easy game, easy game.
We'll
Easy
take it.
game. See that fucking cut? That shit felt good too, didn't it? That one.
Funny. Yeah.
High cut. Damn. Motherfucker hit a high 2 foot cut.
The whole way down.
And you know what that one does when it hits? It just stops.
Yeah.
Stops right by the flag.
That's like when you drop in on something sketchy and you're just.
Yeah.
Get through.
But that's a different feeling, right?
Yeah.